and welcome back to Faith and Flower. Today I'm just going to check in with you guys really quickly on my gray hair transition. And I'll have the first video linked in the cards above if you guys haven't seen that yet. It's actually a little bit past 2 months since I last dyed my hair. And I've decided to not dye my hair anymore, just to pretty much go cold turkey and let my gray hair grow in. I did tell you in my last video that I had just a very few sort of silver highlights put into my hair around my face because that's where most of my gray is. And my hair is growing in much darker than the color that I have been dyeing it. This is a color that is a little bit more like what I used to have when I was younger. I guess you would call it a light golden brown, almost reddish at times. So other than the highlights, the few that I put in, and I mean very few highlights, I'm not going to do anything else to help the transition. I'm mostly just going cold turkey and letting it grow out. And I'll have some pictures that I've taken recently so you can see the progress. I actually found another picture, and it's funny because I don't have very many of those, from the previous time that I grew out my gray hair. Basically, I have the most gray in the temple area, and so you can see this area in particular on this side of my face. I've got a pretty good gray streak going right here, so that's the most dramatic thing about my hair, and I'm looking forward to that. I kind of miss it, and I can't wait to get there. I grew out my hair originally about 3 to 4 years ago. I guess it was about 3 years ago that I actually grew it all out and then made the decision to go back to dyeing again. I guess I just wasn't ready. I really think that that is okay. I think there's nothing wrong with dyeing your hair. I'm not here to say that. I'm just here to encourage you if you're thinking about ditching the dye and letting your hair grow out. I thought it would be fun to document my journey in hopes that it would encourage you. And there's definitely no judgment if that's not for you and you want to continue dyeing your hair. And there's also multiple ways of transitioning. A lot of people choose to get highlights throughout to kind of blend their gray hair as it grows out. You know, if you know that your roots are pretty much all silver, women have bleached their hair out and then used a toner to keep it sort of that silvery color. There are lots of different ways. I just know that that would be too harsh for my hair, and because I don't have a ton of gray in my hair, I just didn't think that was the best option. And I have gone through this before where I just did it cold turkey, and it wasn't an absolutely horrible experience. I mean, it's not totally fun. And in the beginning, there is that line of demarcation that seems so harsh, but it definitely softens up over time. And so I was inspired to do this by my sister, who is in the process of growing out her gray hair. Her hair is darker than mine, and I think she's at about the 5-month mark, and I have a picture that I'll put up for you of hers, and she, I think, is at that stage now where the blending is starting to happen. And so there's definitely, you know, a contrast between her dark dyed hair and where her gray is coming in, but she's a salt and pepper mix too, probably has a little bit more silver than I'm going to wind up with, but her hair was always darker when we were growing up and mine was lighter, and so our hair is just completely different from each other. I think that it's going to be so beautiful when she is finished with her transition. I think it's beautiful now, but I think that her silver really stands out in her darker hair. Our dad has very nice silver hair, and he started going gray probably in his early 30s, maybe even late 20s, I'm not sure, but she definitely takes after him a little bit more. My mom has a lot of gray hair now, but she didn't necessarily when she was younger. So I think I started to see gray probably in my late 30s. And again, you know, mostly just around my face. And so that's when I started dyeing my hair, because I felt, you know, I could see this, you know, coming in all of the time, and because it was front and center, that's why I started dyeing my hair. And I actually started by just kind of covering those areas, not doing a whole head dye until later when I could see, you know, more gray coming in. So that's what I had done, you know, for the last 10 to 15 years, and I just decided that it's enough, and I would like to stop. And Hopefully I won't have one of those weak moments where I decide, just to go ahead and diet again. I think that doing this on YouTube will help keep me accountable and hopefully keep me on track. And I appreciate all the encouragement that I've received from you guys. It's been super helpful. And so not only am I here to encourage you, I'm receiving tons of encouragement as well. And I just live mostly a natural lifestyle anyway. I really care about the foods that I eat, the products that I use in our home, and so it doesn't really make sense to be putting a lot of chemicals on my hair. So that played into the decision quite a bit too. So I wanted to also talk to you about what's going on with my hair right now and how I am treating it to keep it healthy while I'm growing it out. And so I'm just basically using the same shampoos that I've been using all along, but I have started using a shampoo that's made for silver hair, one of the purple shampoos. And we have this too because my husband has salt and pepper hair. He's got really beautiful silver hair, and so he likes to use this too to brighten it up and keep it from getting dull. So it's the Redken Color Extend Gradient. And it says it's an anti-yellow shampoo. And so actually the reason why I've started using it, I don't have enough gray for it to matter much right now, but because my hair is growing out and I'm not freshening up the dye, the ends tend to get rather brassy, and they get lighter and lighter over time because when I was putting on the more brown golden color, it would brighten up and be refreshed when I colored each month. I would do the roots and then I would work that throughout the ends, and that would give the ends a boost too. And now that I'm not doing that anymore, it's lightening up, it's getting more brassy, and this is a great shampoo for toning down those brassy colors. And so that's why I've been using this, and I just use it once a week. The shampoo may be a little bit drying, but the conditioner is good. My hair tends to be slightly on the oily side. It's not super dry. So if you have really dry hair, you might want to research a little bit the best shampoo so that you don't wind up with a problem in that area. But this one works really well for me, and my husband's hair is more on the dry side, and he says that he loves the conditioner. It makes his hair feel really soft. So that's what I'm doing to care for my hair right now. And I'm also starting to look forward to things like when I get more gray around my face, playing with my makeup to brighten my face, because I think that was one of the things that caused me to go back to dyeing my hair in the past, was that I felt sort of washed out. And it's probably because I didn't change anything about the way I did my makeup. I just expected to be able to do everything the same. And there are a lot of videos on YouTube out there that give you some ideas about how you can brighten up your makeup. And I don't think you necessarily need to use more. You just might need to adjust the colors that you use, or we'll see. So I'm going to be experimenting with some of that as I go through in the journey, and I'll share it with you, whatever it is that I choose to do. And maybe you guys can also help me out with that. I would love to get comments to find out, if you're on this journey, things that you found helpful, like favorite products that you use, makeup tricks, all those kind of things. I just want to create a community for women who are going through this journey to share with each other. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure to give me a thumbs up. And I am excited about this series and about checking in with you guys. I'm probably going to do it once a month or so, just so that there's enough time that goes by that you can see the progress. And if you are new to my channel, I would love to have you as a subscriber. So whether you're just in the early stages of contemplating this, if you're already in the middle of your journey or just beginning, or if you've finished and you have some wise advice for us that are just embarking on the journey, I would love to hear from you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.